Hello, everyone. This is Abdulhai Arif, December 12th, 2020. And this week topic that I selected was about racism and inequality. Unfortunately, I recorded this in my computer, but it didn't have a voice, so that's why I had to redo that again, which is sad, but yes. So this week I choose this topic specifically because I think this is very important, and we all know how things are since last few years specifically, and even overall in last few decades, because racism, inequality has always been there. Racism has always been there, but of course, in the last few years, the racism part was kind of before that a little bit quiet or underground, but since last 4 years specifically, it came out and it just boosted again and because of different reasons. So let's go to the topic: impact of racism and inequality. As we all know, the definition of racism is when a person of group or group of people behave differently towards other people based on their appearance, their gender, their ethnicity, religion, beliefs, or anything of that matter. That is called a racism. Means they see those people different and less valuable than themselves. So based on those specific characters, and racism itself is creating, when there is a racism, it's creating inequality in the society too, because you see people different, and definitely your approach and your approach towards that is different too. So you are trying to not treat them, or mistreat them compared to other people. So that's what it is creating. And it can have a direct impact on the society, and overall in the country. As we all know, that racism and equality can really what they can it can do to the nation, and we have seen it in history before when there was slavery time and the people were, you know, uh, purchased. They were kept as a slave. The women were mistreated and stuff like that, and that was part of. I mean, they're both, in my opinion, the racism and equality are somehow interconnected. These two topics, because they're kind of one of two actually. So and racial discrimination has increased in the last few years, as I mentioned, and I have seen it myself. I noticed it and I experienced it in one of the biggest corporation today's time, in in the Silicon Valley. I've experienced pure racism there, and I had to quit the job. So, and I'm sure a lot of people have experienced such things in their workplaces or outside, anywhere in the park or anywhere, or your neighborhood too. So that's where how this can be. And the other thing is that the racism, because of the racism and the dark history that we had in the United States of slavery times and those dark days of our history, and it wasn't just in the United States actually, it was all over the world, but we had it more here. Um, and because of this poisoning the people in last few years specifically, and and encouraging them towards racism, bigotry, and hatred, we have seen the outcome of that. And even though such things were happening before too, but it came out so publicly now, and we know how the black movement started, and what was the reason behind that was the killing of innocent black people by the cops, and those are the law enforcement people that are killing innocent people. So, and we know why, and it's not something hidden. It's just so clear in many cases. The George Floyd or Breonna Taylor's or many others, they were killed in their apartments, and innocents, they didn't do much to be killed for, but that's how it happened. And of course, it leads us to the next, topic, which is inequality, which, as I mentioned, they're interconnected to each other. So inequality, by definition, is also a concern about certain metrics of for a person, or you know, and trying, you know, a person or another. Like when we uh, prefer one person over another and say, he's for this reason he's okay, he's good, but the other person is not, he shouldn't get the same treatment, and we put them down, we look down on them, and mistreat them. And I have this personal experience of that too. Like as a Muslim guy, I've seen it how things can be in certain places, and the inequality can have a different shapes again. It could be in a job hiring, in the recruitment stage. It could be income based, like based on whether your color, your religion, your ethnicity. They wouldn't say it, but things will be behind the scene, and they know inside how they do that. Because of the laws and in the Constitution, of course, they can't do those things or say those things openly. But there are people they have these things in their mind, in their hearts. Even with women, how the income is not, the pay rate is not as equal to the men, and I'm totally against that. Personally, that's my personal opinion. Or in the services, in many other occasions. And inequality itself is a very dangerous thing, because when there is inequality, it leads to a very dangerous path. It leads the people, the youngsters especially, towards crimes, towards doing wrong things. And I think that's where we have to be very serious about that. And there are studies, many studies, but one of the studies that I found was from Council on Foreign Relation Organization studies that show that income wealth inequality is higher in the United States amongst the entire developed countries. So that was my topic. Leave your feedback on my video and I'll get back to you. Thank you.